Today is Thursday, January 4th. I'm going to go over Dollar General, Mara, Palantir, and DIDY Global. First up is Dollar General. We ended the day at $134.76, up more than 2.5%. To the north side from where we are takes us to resistance and a potential take profit area, 139.45, 141.83, and 144.37. We are at the middle of the trend. The baseline to the south side from that line is another level of support, 129.75, 127.25, and 124.88. These are your potential buy lines and your potential sell lines. And if we are up here and here, this line turns into support. So we are at support. The next one that I want to go over is Mara. We ended the day at $26.27, up more than 2%. To the north side from where we are takes us back to resistance and a potential take profit area, 26.60. 27.62, 28.55. To the south side, back at the baseline, and in this situation, support, 24.66, 22.69, 21.76, and at -4 standard deviations and another potential buy-in area, $20 and roughly 78 cents. Watch out for this gap that begins at 2032, closes out at 1996. If we make it to this line, I will definitely anticipate a bounce at support as well. Notice the bounce here at support. And what I also want to show you is a gap to the upside that I've been tracking. We are not there yet, but it begins at 30.26, closes out at 30.95. We are a ways away from that, but something to keep in mind. We also have I don't want to say a lot, but there are quite a few landmines to the south side that take us all the way down right now to roughly $8.54. We are not in the zone, not even close, but something to be aware of in the big picture. I did a trade a long time ago with this, with Mara. All right, the next one is Palantir. I've been tracking this one lately just because of all of the gaps that I have talked about. I'll give you the price points for today, going into Friday the 5th. So we are at 16.25, up nearly 1%. Resistance takes us to 16.52, 16.77, and finally 17.01. Back at the middle of the trend, and in this case, support and a potential buy-in area, 16.04, 15.55, 15.30, 15.06, and this gap takes us down to 14.95. I've been tracking that recently for you. I will extend this line to here. See, we're not even in this zone, not even in the channel, and a ways away, but just keep it on your radar. This gap that I talked about yesterday, I talked about Palantir yesterday at end of the day, 16.09. We ran up all the way to 16.58, close to resistance, Clearly, we didn't go higher than that, so that is close, and there was a sell-off. But this gap that I was telling you about at 16.55, well, guess what? We closed at the high was 16.58. So we touched it today. And so this gap is no longer in play. From down here, I anticipated price to close up at this higher amount, and it did. This gap is still in play, so I will extend it out. It's not, I don't think it'll close on Friday, but if we did, that'd be amazing. But possibly the following week. Fingers crossed. And do I have other gaps I'm tracking? No, not right now. That's Palantir. And finally, I'm going to go over DIDIY. I sold out today, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. Oh, this is, we ended at, oh, this is after hours trading too. So we ended at $4. Let me take it there. All right. Your targets for Thursday. Resistance is at 401. So we're very close to that line. We're at 2 standard deviations, another level of resistance, 408, and another level of resistance and a potential take profit area, 414. Notice how we didn't make it to this line and started to sell off. This line then turns into support, but we fell through it and then landed back up here. All right, to the middle of the trend, 388, 375, 369, and 362. I will not buy in again until price comes back down to this range. Ignore all the other horizontal lines. Those are either support and resistance or gaps. I'll have to take a look at that in the big picture to show you. But I bought in on December 19th here and could have sold out here, but I let it ride to here. So now it executed while I was not looking at my computer because I put in a few dollars above the gap fill. I originally had it at 410. I thought, you know what? I just want to get out. So then I had it at 4, and then I changed it to 398, and that's when it sold out. I do not typically sell live. I always put in an order, and if it hits, great. If it doesn't, I don't care. But my profit was not great, not huge, but it beats banking with Chase. Right there. 398, 376. So I made a return of 5.97%. Now I'm going to show you, I'm going to flip this over to the 15-minute time frame. I have traded this many times in the past. All right, I made 9% here, 1.55, 5.88, 15% here, and 5.9% there. This stock does cost me a little more money. I think Vanguard charges me some sort of a fee, so be careful with that. And on the 15, we have a nice channel going upward, and on the 5-minute, it's still going down. But definitely take a look at this in the big picture, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly to see if it's worth getting in. For long-term investing, I look at it on the monthly time frame. And right now, I'm just giving you price targets for the next day, so that is not my purpose for this video. And I'm going to show you very quickly Apple. Tesla, there was nothing going on today. Didn't fill any gaps I was telling you about. Now for Apple, I talked about this gap and we touched it today, right here. So this landmine is no longer a threat to us. That takes us to the south side. Of course, there are other threats, but not this threat. That has been eliminated. This is the next one at 165.27, closes at 164.18. We're not in that channel. Something to be aware of. I will definitely let you know, but we ended here today at 181.99. There we go. Now, this gap was created today, so now I'm tracking another gap. But fortunately, it's to the upside. There. And then this gap is still in play that I talked about. I will extend that. That takes us out to 192.17. Here are your price targets. I think we could definitely touch 182, but close out, I don't know. All right, so this gap, as I mentioned, at 182.83 to the north side takes us back to 2 standard deviations where we play all day long between -2 and 2. But obviously the calculations on this, the lines change, so you got to pay attention to that. 183.44 is resistance and a potential take profit area, but if you're gonna take profit here, I might as well just wait for this to close out at 184.05, but we may not make it, and then it will go up and down, and then you might be in the trade longer. 185.09 and 186.73. To the south side, back at the baseline, 180.12, 176.84, 175.17, and 173.52. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Let me silence my ringer. I get a lot of spam calls. And that is a look at Apple. If there is a ticker you would like me to go over, please let me know, and thank you for watching.